Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys football. We're taking a look at SMU going on the road to Maryland. If you like points, you should be tuning in to this game. You're seeing two of the most explosive offenses in the country with not great defenses square off. I think this will be an absolute shootout. My inclination is to talk some point totals. We will get to that. But before we do, again, I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown the channel. Maryland, this is a team that I am extremely high on. If you put them in the Big Ten West, I would pick them as my dark horse to win the Big Ten West and come out of there. Unfortunately, they are in the Big Ten East playing teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State. Don't know if they can make it through all those games. But when you're talking about the offensive firepower to win any game in the country, that is the Maryland Terps. And they're playing SMU, another team that has offensive firepower for days. If you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, we really appreciate it. You guys have been very supportive to the channel. We love talking ball with you guys in the comments. So if you guys do like the content, consider subscribing. Let's get into this game. I want to start with Maryland because that is where I think some of the most fun offensive playmakers are on the field. Starting off with Talia Tagovailoa. I've been working on his name. I'm starting to get it right. He's coming in. Talia is a guy that has gotten better and better since he's transferred into Maryland. Last year, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That was the big story. Can he take care of the ball? Can he become more of an efficient passer? He's certainly done that for Maryland, and it's not hard to do considering some of the playmakers that he has on the offensive side of the ball. Taking a look at this wide receiver room, Deshaun Jones leading the team in passing yards, and he's probably the fourth best wide receiver they have. Raheem Jarrett, a guy that if you get the ball in his hands, he's very hard to tackle. Dante Demas, who's a big, physical, fast wide receiver, obviously coming back from that gruesome injury. And then Jacob Copeland, a transfer from Florida who no doubt was looking at where can I go with an explosive offense, have a lot of opportunities to catch football. He winds up in Maryland from the University of Florida. That's three wide receivers plus Deshaun Jones who are absolutely tearing it up. And you see, through the first two games, this team has thrown for 360 yards per game. Has put up 43.5 points. Granted, they have played some very weak teams, Charlotte being one of the worst teams in the FBS, Buffalo also being one of the worst teams in the FBS. SMU, same story, hasn't played a lot of big games, but they've put up points, 46.5 points per game, only have allowed 13, put up 500 total yards, 335 of that through the air. You're seeing two offenses that like to spread you out. They like to get the ball to their playmakers. And this game is going to be a straight shootout. You're looking at two offenses that are high-powered. They like to run fast, and they like to hit explosive plays. And you're looking at two defenses that are not very good. There's not a lot of talent on either of these defenses where I'm looking at and saying, I'm excited about this defense. This is going to be a shootout. It's going to be who has the ball last. It's going to be who can score the most amount of points and who cannot turn the ball over and waste possessions. That's what it's going to be. This game, if you like offense, you are going to love this game. I want to take a look at the spread and the point total. So Maryland is a 3.5-point favorite. It opened up inside of a touchdown. I was very close to getting some action on Maryland then. That being said, I just think this game is a little bit more of a coin toss than many people think. SMU is a very good offense. Maryland's defense, I have a lot of question marks. If you were to ask me to take a side, I would be on Maryland because there are some guys on the defense side of the ball that I think can make some impact plays. And I'm not necessarily being a defense that's going to limit this offense to 300 yards total. I'm looking for a couple takeaways, giving that offense for Maryland a couple more drives. Guys like Deontay Banks, Jacorian Bennett, Tariq Still. Those are guys that can make plays in the back end. If you can get a couple interceptions, force Tanner Mordecai to turn the ball over a little bit, I like Maryland's chances of getting out here with a win. What I want to talk more about is this total. If you like betting on an over, this is a high one. It's 69.5. That is a tough over to swallow for me. I don't necessarily like messing around with totals that are over 70. 69.5, though, that is not over 70. I'm certainly taking a look at it. This game, I think, is just going to be the two teams seeing if they can outscore one another. I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense. I think there's going to be a lot of aggressive defense, kind of what we talked about. We're going to try to get you to force some turnovers. And then we're going to give you the yards. And then when you get into the red zone, we're going to try to play some stiff defense. I just think there's going to be too many explosive plays. I can see a lot of explosive plays, especially from the Terps, kind of talking myself into a Maryland play right now just because at the end of the day, Maryland and that offensive, I think Jacob Copeland, Raheem Jarrett, and Dante Demas are day 2 draft picks. Talia is probably a draft pick too, just based on his arm talent. But those 3 guys at the wide receiver position, I think are very talented. SMU finding 3 athletes good enough to cover those guys and make plays on them. I think that's a tough ask. I do like what SMU's done as a program. They don't necessarily recruit the best, but they do take a lot of transfers from some of those Power 5 schools down in Texas, whether it be Oklahoma, Texas, TCU, Texas Tech, Texas A&M. They take those transfers. Kamar Wheaton just coming from Alabama. They take those transfers and who might not be playing as quick as they want. Those guys are still talented. Then they come to SMU and they kind of make it happen. No more Sonny Dykes. How is that offense going to look? I'm still optimistic. The offense has still looked very great for the first 2 years. Tanner Mordecai is a very good quarterback. You're seeing 2 good quarterbacks with a lot of playmakers on the offense side of the ball. This one is going to be a fun one. I'm leaning Maryland, but if you want to take a look at a point total, we don't talk a ton of point totals on this show. We like to take sides more. I would take a look at the over. I think I could certainly see both teams scoring 40 points in this game. I can certainly see it being an absolute track race. Make sure you check the weather because both these teams would like to throw the ball. If there's any rain in the forecast, that would definitely shy me away from it. But if it's a nice night in Maryland, the track's fast, I do think there will be a lot of points in this game. This game is going to be really fun. And again, this is a team in Maryland that I think can make some noise. With the amount of offensive firepower they have, they can beat any team in the country. They really can on a good day. They got to force some turnovers. They got to be good in the red zone. And I do like the Maryland Terps to come out and win this game. 3.5 isn't scaring me that much. There's going to be so many points in this game. I could certainly be a touchdown or 2. And if Maryland wins by 10 points, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much. Iowa State beats Iowa by 10 points. That's a lot. They're not scoring a lot of points. Maryland, SMU, they're going to score. They're going to move the football. 3.5 points is not scaring me away from the Maryland Terps. I like that. I do like the over as well. This one's going to be a fun one. Certainly going to be on it's a monitor game. I got 3 monitors for each slate. This one is going to be a monitor game. This one is going to have a lot of fireworks. If you like offense, tune into this one. We really do appreciate all the support. Again, if you like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We really do appreciate that. And we'll talk to y'all later.